Hi, welcome to lesson 22. This is a conversation about mindfulness. So, when we talked about how to heal wounds, how to heal, remember the big part of it was being aware, awareness. Awareness is the same thing as mindfulness. It's being aware of what you're doing instead of being on autopilot. Remember, 20,000 to 60,000 thoughts a day, 90 to 95% of them being the same thoughts we had yesterday. That's not living in the moment. That is living in program. That's being on autopilot. So the goal is to be mindful of where you are, even if it means not thinking, meaning, getting into a meditative state, but it's about being aware of what you're choosing, being aware of how you're feeling, and knowing that you have control over your thoughts and over your feeling state at any given moment. Hopefully, that's what this course has taught you how to do without even knowing that it's called mindfulness. Some of you might have. But that's really what it's about, is being the captain of your ship. We've all been in that experience of driving where, we get talking on the phone or talking to someone in the car or listening to the radio, and all of a sudden we're like at the destination 2 hours later and we're like, I have no idea. I don't have any recollection of that drive. Or you might have just a little snippet, of a memory of it. And we've all had that experience of I don't even remember getting here, because you were not in you were focused on the conversation that you were having. Now, if someone asked you about the conversation, you could tell them every aspect of the conversation, right? Because that's where your attention was. The driving you just did on autopilot, right? And so that's where we want to, a lot of times we just are living our lives, which really is not living. We're just sort of going about our lives on autopilot. We wake up, we do the same routine, we brush our teeth, we have our coffee, we get dressed, we go to work, we do the type, we do the route home, we feed the dogs, we feed ourselves, we watch TV, we go to bed. Where's the passion? Where's the purpose? That is living on autopilot. Being mindful is driving on the way to work and seeing a beautiful tree and saying, oh, thank God for this amazing opportunity to see this beauty. It's being on the road, maybe even because, of course, we've all got to do something, right? So we're on the road to work, or even just starting your morning with putting your feet on the floor and just saying, gosh, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for the opportunity to wake up. That's being mindful. Being in the present moment. And it's really hard to be in the present moment and not be in gratitude, because it's like, if you really just sit in this moment, what do you have to be grateful for right now? What do you have to be grateful for? There's so much to be grateful for in this moment right now. You could make a list of everything and just make that a daily practice. When you want to be mindful, just think about that. So the other way we can practice mindfulness and, sort of break out of our old programming is, even if we're, like the example in the worksheet, even if we're going to do something we perceive as bad, right? Like we're going to a party and we know we're going to have pizza and wine, and we are thinking, oh my God, pizza and wine is so bad for us. And so you just say, look, I'm making the mindful, conscious choice. I am consciously choosing to go to this event. I'm going to be inspired and in love and harmony with my friends. I'm going to enjoy this amazing tasting food. I'm going to have some wine and allow the spirit and the purpose and the passion of this event to fill my soul with happiness. So even just being conscious about the things that we're doing and choosing to do them instead of doing them on autopilot. Well, I'm going to this party. I'm probably going to overeat. Then I'm probably going to feel bad about myself, blah, blah, blah. Those are the things you're normally going to do without even putting any thought into it, more than likely. And that example might not resonate for all, but I know you can think of an example where you do things, you know this is how it's going to be. You predetermine the outcome based on all the experiences that you've had before. Instead of choosing, you could just even think about it as far as you're visiting your family. If you have challenges with any family members, and the whole time going there, you know what's going to happen. You know you're going to end up in a fight. You know this is going to happen, because that's what always happens, because autopilot takes over. Instead, you can say, you know what? In this visit, I am consciously choosing to have a good time no matter what. I'm in control of how I feel. I'm in control of what I think. And if someone brings up a topic that you don't agree with, you just simply say, gosh, I have never thought of it that way. Thank you for sharing. You can be happy or you can be right. The point is, in mindfulness, you are choosing. You are choosing, okay, what you want to experience. That is what mindfulness is all about. So if you find yourself where you are in autopilot and something triggers you, okay, I want to take you through an exercise. We've done the observer exercise, and that's one of the best things that you can do. But this is an exercise called the body inventory. And what we want to do is, because if we find ourselves in a trigger moment, okay, we can always bring ourselves back to the now, but it's important to find out so that we can heal the process later. We can heal the wound later. We want to be able to do a body inventory. So for this exercise, we want to regain control of how we feel. We want to show you how you can be in charge of what's going on in any given moment. So what I'm going to have you do is go ahead and sit quietly, get prepared for this. If you need to pause the video, do so now and get prepared. And then when you're ready, go ahead and sit quietly, take a couple of deep breaths. Close your eyes. And when you're thinking about the emotion, so whatever the trigger was, what was the emotion? How did that show up for you? How did you feel when you were triggered? How did you feel? And if you could find that feeling in your body somewhere, where would it be? And just scan your body, starting from the top, and just where do you feel that uneasiness? Where do you feel that misalignment in your body? And it can be anywhere. It doesn't have to make sense. Just ask your body, where does it feel? I mean, it could be on your thigh. It could be in your pinky toe. It could be in your chest. It could be in your stomach. But where do you feel that uneasiness? When you go back to that emotion, that negative emotion, where do you feel it? And then if you had to assign a color to it, what color would it be? Okay, and identify what color it would be. It could be, a lot of times it shows up as black or gray. And if you could describe this feeling and this color as a place, what would that place look like? And just get as many details about this place as possible. What would the place look like? Is it a swamp? Is it like a closet or a prison? Is it a field of thorns, what would it look like? And just notice how you feel while you're in this place. Notice the colors around you, and notice the emotion where you feel it in your body. Now, if you could leave this place, would you? Ask yourself that question. And if the answer is yes, only if the answer is yes, do you want to proceed. If the answer is no, then stop this video and come back to it another time. But if the answer is yes, then say, okay, if I could leave this place, I would. Then go ahead and in your mind, zoom out to a place where you are up above, in the sky, in the air, zooming out so that you see the whole picture. And then inventory your body from this place up above. Do you still feel that same anxiety or pressure or pain in your body from this place? And you'll want to notice the distance. When you get zoomed up and you're looking down at the landscape, at the emotion that felt mucky or sticky or thorny, as you're looking down, notice the distance. And when you can feel that distance, you should feel some relief in your body wherever it was causing you that distress, uneasiness. And as you look down and you're noticing the difference, how do you feel differently? How do you feel now? And what color does that feel like? Okay, a lot of times that will be gold or pink or any color. I mean, no color is right or wrong. Just notice what color it is. How do you feel? And as you practice this exercise of distance, you'll be much more aware and able, when those triggers start to show up, you'll start to say, ooh, I'm feeling, gray. I want to feel pink. And you can sort of mentally, even without closing your eyes, you can sort of mentally take yourself, zoom out from, the mucky place. See it from above, call in the pink light or the whatever the color is that you're associating with. Call in that energy, and you should feel that calm come over your body immediately. If you're having difficulty with this exercise, it's just about practicing. You just need to practice over and over until you can get and don't fight it. Don't resist it. Allow whatever is coming up to come up. Definitely journal about what you found and share it. There could be some underlying overarching meanings of any of the colors, any of the landscape. If you're curious about any of those clues, let me know. But go ahead and write down what you experienced. And you can go to your intuition also and see what comes up as well. So utilize this exercise anytime you find yourself being triggered, because as you stay mindful, you'll be able to recognize when. Remember, there's nothing wrong with the emotion. And again, there's nothing wrong with any of this. But the challenge is not in the emotion. The challenge is in the action that the emotion creates. Okay? You can have the emotion without action. That's being mindful. Ooh, I'm feeling this emotion of fear or anger. Okay, nothing's going on just yet. I'm feeling the emotion. Where's this coming from? I want to detach from it. I want to zoom out, take a look at it, write down. I see the gray down there. I'm bringing in the pink. Whew, I'm releasing. Okay, now I feel better. Okay, versus The emotion is coming on, the anger is there, and now the action is I'm screaming and yelling at my kids. I'm screaming and yelling at my husband. I'm screaming and yelling at the guy who just cut me off, okay? You see, the action is where we really take the misalignment into, the full expression, where it can sometimes go too far. Of course, we don't want to walk around. See, now we're creating the fight or flight, anxiety. We're creating the immune system to be defenseless, all of those things. The fear and anxiety, if we go back to the healing the body, the fear and the anxiety is what causes all the problems. That's where the inflammation comes from. So by being mindful, we can then become, in a moment's notice, we can become the observer of our thoughts. We can see the emotion. We can experience the emotion, but we don't have to act upon the emotion. I hope that makes sense. So I hope you enjoyed this exercise, and I hope this is one that we get a lot of feedback on, because I would love to hear about your experience and help you identify any of the clues that you come up with in your landscape and in your mind's eye. Talk to you on the next video.